Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Jamie Rogers.
You're listening to the Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hey, Jamie.
How's it going?
We're good. Today's an exciting day. This is our 200th episode, and you are a lucky guest.
I'm honored.
Well, let's get this show started. Tell us a little bit about you. What do you do?
Yeah, so I am a real estate agent here. I work with Bellabay Realty out of Caledonia here, and so I got into real estate about a year ago. I'm not actually from Michigan originally, so when I moved out here, it was kind of a fresh start for me, and real estate was always something that really piqued my interest, something that I felt like my skill set would allow me to excel at, and just the opportunity to build relationships with people, work with people. And so I finally took the plunge and decided to get my license, especially with COVID happening. What more do you have to do than, do online stuff and do classes? So I decided to take the plunge, and I got my license, and just dove right in. It's been a wild year. I'm sure you guys know that real estate market has been crazy. So It really forced me to learn on the fly and learn quickly. And in a sense, I'm grateful for that. I think that was a little crazy to come into that market, but also just a great way for me to learn and really get my feet wet.
That's awesome. So you said you weren't from Michigan and you just showed up here and you just started real estate? Tell us about that. So, how'd you get here?
Long story short. So grew up, born and raised just outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Lived there my whole life. I'll just say that as I got older and to my 20s, early 20s, I wasn't really making good choices for my life. My priorities weren't really in line. And to say the least, life was pretty rough for me. It was hard, all to my own doing. But I had some family out here in Michigan that just reached out to me and offered an opportunity to come experience something different and try to get away from, the lifestyle that I was living. And so I came out here and, long story short, I just got plugged into the church and I met Jesus, and that really just totally changed my life and completely transformed everything in my life. And from that moment on, that's when I started getting into real estate, and it just changed my priorities on everything. I mean, I came here a lonely, single, broken man, and I'm now a successful married man with a baby, 8-month-old, beautiful little girl. And,
nice.
I give all the glory to God. I mean, I wouldn't be here without Jesus. And that's really kind of how I got started here. So.
Well, congratulations, Jamie. That's huge. Going from where you came from to now, that's a huge accomplishment.
Well,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I like it. So tell us, how did you just come here and you're like, I'm going to start real estate? Or did you get here and you're like, well, I've always wanted to do real estate, so maybe let's just give it a try. Yeah. Did you try anything else while you were here? Or did you just say, I'm going to try that?
I was the director of operations for a fitness company for a little while, and then COVID hit. So everything shut down. So that was
I
was kind of out of commission on that one. I actually signed up originally to do the online real estate course, and I just found that really difficult because I'm more of a hands-on learner. Mm-hmm. And after working all day and things like that, you want to come home. I wanted to spend time with my fiance, and it was hard to get in front of a computer for 3-4 hours and read through PowerPoint. So actually, when we got married, we were discussing buying a house, and the realtor that we got connected with had told me, hey, I shared the same struggles. I just did a full 9 to 5 days a week, like Monday through Friday class. And so I decided to just do that. I took a week off of work and I just went and did it.
Yeah.
And that was how I got my license. That was the best way for me to do it. And so I just prepared myself, took the test right after that, and got licensed, and the rest is history, I guess.
That's awesome. How about, would 5-year-old Jamie imagine you being here today with everything that you've accomplished? Was this ever on your radar as a child?
5-year-old Jamie, I don't know if 5-year-old Jamie had too many expectations outside. So, so maybe 5-year-old Jamie would be a little bit surprised. I'm sure that 20-year-old Jamie would be surprised at where he is today. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you get any advice when you first started out in real estate that has stuck with you?
I don't know that I got advice strictly pertaining to real estate, but it's
Yeah.
something that has really kind of coincided with real estate. And it was something a wise man once told me. He said, Jimmy, you can always make more money, but you can never make more time.
Mm-hmm.
I really have applied that to real estate because it's very easy, especially in this market, to just get caught up in the craziness and to kind of forego opportunities to spend time with your family and things like that. And so that's just something I've really tried to apply to my work life, is that, time is more important than money. And, if I do the right things and I keep my priorities straight, that like there will always be opportunities to sell more houses and think, but there will not be more time to
Yeah.
spend with my family and things like that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So how did you get that first client? Because you didn't know anybody.
Yeah, we want to know
Yeah,
details. You
so
came to a new state,
that
a new career.
yeah.
How did you grow that clientele?
So I originally, when I first got my license, I actually signed on with the brokerage that I got my licensing through.
Okay.
Great brokerage, but I was like gung ho and I needed to get going like right away. And so I just felt like the training wasn't there. And so I ended up doing some research, talking to some other realtors, and Bellabay was the one I came across. And turned out that Bellabay has a really good lead program. And so that was kind of one of the reasons that I decided to go with them, because I knew, obviously real estate, you got to build your business, but a lot of people tell you build it from your sphere of influence. I don't have one here. So
Right.
it was important for me to kind of have that spoon feeding, so to speak, to kind of help me build that business. And so I went with them, and I got not only that, but I got the training and the support and everything that I needed. So it's been amazing working with Bellabay, and I would highly recommend it to anyone that's listening to this, that's looking into real estate. Great organization.
Awesome. Over the last couple of years, what is the worst property or showing, or even, I don't know if you've hosted an open house, maybe not so much since the pandemic. I know they kind of went away for a little bit because of in-person stuff, but what is the worst property you've been to? We want to know the details here.
Worst property. I showed a property down in Battle Creek, small little home, right on the water. And my clients, I had showed them quite a few houses, and they were looking at some very, very nice properties. And I couldn't figure out why they wanted to see this one, but it was so much worse when we got there in person. Like the front door was open. The ceiling was caving in. It was just, I was actually shocked that it was still standing. And it was we must have spent maybe 30 seconds inside of it. It was like, we walked inside, I was like, okay, this is way worse.
Turn around.
Get out. Yeah. Out of here.
Let's get out of here. I'm assuming that the house probably needed to be condemned. I can't imagine it would have cost any less to rebuild it yourself. So
Yeah. So they didn't buy that one.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah,
No,
safe to say.
no way.
No.
So you've come a long way in the last couple of years. I know you've had a lot of changes going on in your life. What goals do you have to go into 2022? What more changes do you want to make? Do you want to add clientele, or what's your goal?
Yeah, so I would say that moving into 2022, one thing is, I've been primarily more of a buyer's agent. And I know that, as you're building your referral-based business here, now the listing side of things can start to come into play a little bit more. So I'd like to fine-tune my skills and start kind of working on the listing side as well, and working as a seller's agent as well. I've listed houses, but primarily been a buyer's agent. So I'd like to kind of dip my toes more in the listing game and, further my knowledge in that area.
Awesome. If you could start over with all the knowledge that you've learned, what's one thing that you would change to start over with? Is there anything you do differently?
Start over life or start over real estate?
Real estate specifically.
I would say in the beginning, I was so gung ho that I took every lead that I possibly could.
Mm-hmm.
And I did well, but it was, as I started growing and learning, I realized that I wish I would have just worked smarter and not harder. And really, I felt like in the beginning, I could have done a better job I spread myself too thin.
Yeah.
And I'm now moving forward, like I've done a much better job of really kind of just taking the leads that I get and pouring myself into the people that I'm working with, rather than playing a numbers game and just saying, let me get as many leads as I can, and that'll equate to sales, rather than just, taking a few leads and knowing, like, not biting off more than I can chew.
Yeah. Do you have any systems in place now that maybe you didn't have when you first started that kind of help you stay on track with that?
Well, having a good CRM helps with that. I'd love to have an assistant. Maybe that's the next thing 2022
Oh, yeah.
is to hire
Oh,
an
there you
assistant.
go.
About that, as if raising kids isn't a full-time job enough as it is, right?
Yeah.
I think I've really just, like I said, I've slowed things down. And so things were so chaotic before. It's like I couldn't even keep up with my CRM. It was like I wasn't keeping up with and updating customers. So it was like just lowering the amount of workload that I was giving allowed me to just do a better job in every way, and allowed me to just do the things that should be easily.
Yeah. I know it's hard though in the beginning too. You mentioned you felt overwhelmed because you want to take everything that was coming towards you. It's hard to turn those down when you're first starting, especially in a new state. No database
absolutely.
around you that you have a sphere grown already. So I can definitely see where I don't think you're alone with that. I think a lot of people in the beginning, since we've talked to a lot of people, Brad and I have heard some of the similar things. In the beginning, everyone's taking more than they can chew right off the bat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, for me too, is I work for my father-in-law as well. He owns his own delivery company here in Grand Rapids. So I've been driving for him like half the days since I started real estate. So I've been working full-time real estate, but also like
doing some driving.
Full-time job with my father-in-law. So that has been a challenge, just finding that balance, and then, having a baby and all that stuff. So it's been a learning process, but it's been helpful for sure. And I mean, I'm going to make the transition into real estate 24/7, 365.
Yeah. Even
awesome.
though you're already doing it full time, but focus solely on.
Yeah, I'm pretty much doing it full time and working another job, but it'd be nice to just be able to focus myself on that.
One career, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any business books that you've read that have helped you out throughout the last couple years?
I mean, I hate to be this guy, but like, I'm not much of a reader.
That's okay.
I'm more of I will say one book. I must say, I'm more of like a motivational type book reader, like inspiring type stuff. So business books, not knocking them whatsoever, but I did read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'm sure.
Hey, that one counts. That one counts.
Everybody reads that. So I thought that was a great book. That really helped me, especially in a business like real estate, where that is what it's all about, is building relationships and building that rapport with people. So that book, I think, certainly helps me in my endeavor in real estate.
That's awesome. I like it. How can people get a hold of you?
Well, I mean, my phone would probably be the best way, through email as well. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram as well. But yeah, those are the best way to contact me. I mean, I'd be happy to share my number.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. What is it?
You can reach me at 616-634-1591, or you can reach me in my email at jamie.bellabay@gmail.com.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Are these working?
All right.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe? What do we got to point at? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like
it might be there.
It might be right there too.
Somewhere.
Find
it. It's red.
Yeah. And it's blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah, I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review if they're listening on Apple. That'd be cool.
5 stars, guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take 4 stars.
I mean, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
I don't think this is working.
This is not working.